This is Mayor Ron Anders with the Auburn City Council Mayor's Minutes from our February 18th, 2020 City Council meeting. At the beginning of our meeting last night, the City Manager announced a board vacancy on our Board of Education. The 5-year term will begin on June the 1st of 2020 and end May 31st of 2025. We'll make this appointment on April the 21st. I do want you to understand that there is an incumbent that has served one term that has done a great job. Traditionally, our City Council has been favorable towards incumbents being reappointed for second terms if they've done a great job and they would like to serve a second term. I believe both of those factors are in play here, where our incumbent has done a great job and wants to serve a second term. But certainly if you're interested in this appointment, please let your City Council representative know and fill the application out that will be online. Under consent agenda last night, the Council began our deliberations and discussions by supporting a resolution that supports the proposed Corre stoppage in the city of Opelika. We feel like as a city of Auburn that Sagahatchee Lake is a secondary source of water, and many of our citizens on the north side of our community receive water that comes from Sagahatchee Lake, and there's a lot of concern about the discharge from this quarry entering into the water stream of the Sagahatchee Lake. And so we supported this. We feel like it's the right thing to do to support our neighbors in Opelika, but also to protect our citizens here in Auburn that might be utilizing the water that comes from Sagahatchee Lake. I do know that Opelika will be having some public hearings with ADM coming up in the near future, and if you're interested in that, please follow along at the pertinent sites. City Council approved 2 different tax abatements last night. The first was for CSP Technologies, who will be investing $23 million of capital equipment into our community and into their plant, hiring 11 new employees, and Latte Chemical, who will be making an investment of $5.2 million and 10 employees. And we appreciate both of these companies reinvesting in our community and hiring new employees from our area, and we look forward to working with them. City Council approved a contract with Progility for the implementation of Microsoft's Project Server for $168,000, and this will help all of the city manage our projects better. City Council approved a development agreement with The Hub, which is a new student housing project on Glen Avenue. A development agreement helps the city do a number of things. It helps us hold our costs down because we put the onus on the developer to pay for a lot of the connections to our water and sewer systems. There will be some sidewalk redevelopments that we'll ask the developer to also participate in financially. And so there's a significant cost savings to the city by moving through these development agreements, and I believe this cost savings will be over $1 million. It also allows us to have recourse and governance over such things as when supply trucks can come in and out, when sidewalks can be closed down, when roads can be closed down, the usage of tower cranes, the safety of all of our pedestrians and vehicles that will be in the area. It's just a management agreement and a good faith agreement with our developers that are important for us to have in place as we look at these big projects that are in and around where people live and work. So this project would happen without this development agreement, but this development agreement helps the city manage this project much better and certainly helps you, the citizens, save some money that would have to be invested in and around this project. So the City Council did pass this last night. There were 2 abstentions and 6 votes in the affirmative. Under ordinances last night, we approved a couple of stop signs in the new Woodward Oaks subdivision. The City Council did finally approve the student housing moratorium. This will give us 90 days to discover and uncover and discuss ways that we can better manage student housing for Auburn's future. I will tell you that we've been working on this for a long time. We took some extra time to get this approved because our legal advice told us that we should move this through the Planning Commission first, because potentially we could be looking at some zoning changes, so we've done that. What that has allowed is our staff some extra time to begin to determine what are some strategies for the City Council to evaluate here moving forward. The 90 days will begin on February the 27th and end on May the 27th, and during that time we'll be bringing some things forward, some ideas forward to help us better manage student housing in the future. If you got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask myself or any of your City Council representatives how this is going. We approved a rezoning of a small piece of property off of North College. It's 1662 North College Street. It's 1.8 acres. There had been some rezoning in and around this piece of property. It was really an island piece of property that was kind of out there by itself, and so we allowed that rezoning to take place last night, and that was the fair thing to do for the Williams family. Under resolutions last night, we approved an expansion at the Sky Bar. This has been delayed for a couple of meetings because the City Council did not feel like we had enough information to evaluate this determination. This is an outdoor use. The owner of the Sky Bar came and explained its purpose to us last night, and so ultimately the City Council voted an affirmative to allow this to move forward. City Council voted for the road service use, the conditional use for Auburn Bank's new parking deck. Auburn Bank, as you have seen in the paper recently and seen other announcements through social media, is going to completely redo the block that their headquarters is located on here in downtown Auburn. We are very excited about that. They will be building a brand new bank and a new bank center. And so there'll be a lot of activity there that it's my belief will be a great plus for our community moving forward. The bank does want to create a parking deck that will serve their employees and their customers and other uses that they might have, other businesses that they might have locating within their building in the future, and so the City Council approved that last night. City Council also approved a public service use. It was a conditional use for the Lake Wilmore Community Center. They'll be located at 737 Ogletree Road. The information about this can be found on our website, but this is part of the Parks and Rec Master Plan. This will be a great new community center for Auburn. It will include a couple of full-size basketball courts that we can play for the younger ages games cross-court at one time. It'll be a great place for us to expand any type of indoor activity. There'll be an indoor walking track for people to get exercise on. There'll be workout facility there, meeting rooms, pickleball courts, and an outdoor pool. And this whole area at Lake Wilmore will have an expansion in the future that will be really comprehensive in its purpose and use as the years wear on. But the first construction project out there will be this community center, and the City Council approved that last night, and I look forward to getting that built and to see a lot of citizens utilizing its services here in the future. City Council approved a road service use for a ice station at 1791 Shug Jordan Parkway. And the City Council also approved a road service use for the new Sons Ford automobile dealership, which is an existing dealership that was purchased with a new owner on South College Street, but this actual use is on 114 East Veterans Boulevard. The final item on our agenda last night was the approval of an alcohol beverage license for special events, and this is for the Auburn Equestrian Center events that will be happening later on this spring. The actual dates are February the 29th and March the 7th. As we are seeing with Auburn Athletics, there are a number of their venues and a number of their sports that they are now serving alcohol within those sports. And so we do have to, as a city, approve those alcohol permits to allow that to happen. So we did that last night for a couple of our equestrian events. And then finally, I'd just like to remind you of a couple things that'll be going on here in the near future. Auburn 2040 will be kicking off really soon, and you'll see a lot of information coming out about that here in the next week or so. I encourage you to sign up for the e-notifier here with the city and to pay attention to all the city's social media as well as the city's website. But as I have said before, this is a citizen-led, staff-supported strategic plan for Auburn's future. There'll be 8 teams that will be governed by 3 captains that are all citizens. Each of those teams, we hope to have at least 20 members. And so this will be your opportunity as a community member to have a place at the table to determine and talk about what Auburn's future should be. Look for more announcements on this coming out at the end of next week, but we're very excited about Auburn 2040 and hope we get a robust representation of community citizens that want to be a part of paving the path for Auburn's future. And this weekend, there's a lot of things going on here in Auburn. I just ask you to be mindful of all the visitors we'll have in town. We've got over 500 college students that will be coming to town for an intramural tennis event. Auburn baseball has a 3-game series with Central Florida. There's an event at the Googe on Friday night. There is a play at the Telfair Pete Theater all weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's a wheelchair basketball tournament going on at the Memorial Coliseum. Auburn plays Tennessee in basketball on Saturday morning at the Auburn Arena. There's a lot of things going on. We're grateful for all these events. We're grateful for our visitors that will be coming to our town, and we hope that you welcome them with open arms and help them find their way. And also, I want to remind you that there'll be a little more traffic in and around Auburn this weekend, so make sure you leave in plenty enough time to get to where you're going. This is Ron Anders with the Mayor's Minutes from our February the 18th, 2020 City Council meeting. Have a great week.